Hey guys, it's appleminte. Welcome back again to my channel. So for today's video, it is the obligatory end of year sketchbook tour. Although by the time you see it, I'm pretty sure that this video is going to be up on January 1st, but it is the end of 2020 sketchbook tour. I like to do one at the end of every year just to kind of look back at the art that I've done during the year and just kind of reminisce. So let's get right into it because I have quite a few sketchbooks here that I want to dive into. Let's get started. So as you might be able to tell, I dabbled in quite a bit of sketchbooks this year. I tend to use a bunch just because I'm the type of person that will start a sketchbook and then hop around to another one depending on the kind of paper I feel like using or the shape of the paper. So yeah, I'm not the type of person that keeps one nice clean sketchbook. But anyway, let's start by going through a few of the ones that have less in them, and then we'll get on to the one that has the most. So the one I want to show you guys first is one that I actually do all of my thumbnail sketches in before I do my actual drawings for my videos. So this is the notebook that I plan things out in. The ones from this year start around here. I think this is back when I was practicing for the portraits video that I did at the beginning of the year, the portrait tutorial. Actually, I think these drawings were used in the video specifically, but typically I do planning sketches in here. Right, so this was for the seasons drawing that I did earlier, and there's fall and winter. And typically when I draw in here, it's mostly just for looking at like outfits and stuff. I'll usually sketch the pose separately and then go from there. Why do I keep finding my like Chinese food orders on here? Magical Boy SpongeBob. That was a time. I forgot which marker set this was. I have no clue what they are. I didn't write it down. These were the ice cream girls. And then we have the weather people. I don't remember what she was going to be, but I ended up going with these designs, if you've seen the video. This was when I was doing the ice cream Halloween monsters, and I think this was pumpkin pie, but I ended up not liking her. She was just way too basic, so I went with something a little bit more spooky. Here are the RPG stores, and then the last pages that I used in here for this year were the zodiac, and then the countries that I did. So that's all for this particular sketchbook. Like I said, I just do my thumbnail sketches in there, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what my planning looks like behind the scenes. Now the next two I'm gonna bring out, I only have a few pieces of art in here because I started them really late this year. So in this one was the watercolor piece that I did with inks around October, I believe. And I think this is the only one in here because I only used this for one watercolor piece. And then this other Arteza book that I have, I also only used for a few because I only started using this notebook this year. So we have the RPG characters in here, which I really like. This one was my favorite one to make. I just really like how the colors came out. And then I have my 90s drawing, which I also really like how she came out. I love how much of the page I took up with her. And yeah, well, okay, I forgot this was in here. But this one ended up becoming a disaster. If you watch this video, when I actually drew it, I smudged this whole thing, so I had to redraw it digitally. The actual drawing is fine. The finished piece is fine, but this was a mess. I had quite the fiasco that day. So I just used it to test colors. And something that I have sitting next to me, these aren't in a sketchbook technically, but this was the piece that I did for Etcher, that butterflies piece that I did. If you guys saw the live demo that I did with them. And then this was for my Secret Santa in my Discord server. The person that I had gave me pictures of their OCs, and so I drew them for them and I sent it to them on my Discord server. So that was this. I didn't put it in a sketchbook though, but I guess they count for the sketchbook tour. The next sketchbook that I want to show is one that I originally planned to use for Inktober 2019. Inktober never really works out for me, but yeah, that was when I did it last year. But anyway, I ended up using this sketchbook just for regular art for me, things that I just like to practice sketching or whatever. So this was end of 2019, which begins everything I've done in here for 2020. I don't know what year it is. I vaguely remember this video. This is when I was planning out drawing the remake of that old drawing of all those cat girls that I did. And then I'll typically do studies in here, like I'll look at different artists' work. Like I think this was some lowish stuff and I wanted to try to practice different styles. So you'll see that typically in this sketchbook when I'm practicing different things, I'll just put it in here. This one I think was Siren's style a little bit, but I like to practice anatomy and all that. It's pretty necessary to take a break every once in a while and just have a practice day, you know? Yeah, I also really like sketching in red, as you can see the evolution of like starting from having a lot of gray pencil sketches to now almost everything is being sketched in red. I don't really know what this was. This was just me practicing. And I think this is the last one in here because I was just, oh, well, it's almost the last one in here actually, because I sketched that butterflies piece in here. I didn't realize I did it in here. I thought that I did it on my iPad originally. Anyway, that's all that's in here. But of course, like I said, I saved the most full sketchbook for last, being the Arteza mixed media book that I have here. And I'm not gonna count my iPad. Like a lot of my artwork this year was digital, being anything from my pin designs or merchandise designs or just digital art in general that I like to practice sketches and this and that. But I'm not really gonna go through that too much because it's kind of harder to go through my iPad. Maybe that could be for another day. But anyway, let's flip through this book, which was started this year and primarily used for my videos. So you might recognize a lot of these drawings, but I think it's a nice look back at 2020 and the different things that I drew this year. This was that girl when I drew using all red. I really liked this one. There's Rin from Drawing with Waffles. Right, I forgot some of these videos were in 2020. It's kind of nice to flip through and look back at the year. This was my drawing of Celeste from Animal Crossing, and I guess now that I think about it, this was around March or April when I had gotten my Nintendo Switch and started getting into Animal Crossing. Purchasing a Nintendo Switch, by the way, was one of the best decisions I could have made this year, just because I had a lot of free time in the beginning of the year when things were crazy, and Animal Crossing was a lifesaver. Oh, this is my drawing of Nigeria, and I really like this one because I loved the bright colors that I used on her outfit. I just like how they stand out and they really pop. And there is Japan as well from my countries video. I drew them in the same one. And sometimes you'll notice I have like an empty page, and that's usually because I sometimes notice there's like a dot of ink on the page that leaked through from the page before it, and so I'll typically just like skip a page and then go back and use that empty page for like a scrap page later. So that is why if I'm flipping through and you see an empty sheet of paper, that is why. Here is when I did my fast food girls. This was McDonald's, which I had fun drawing her. And then Dairy Queen, which I don't like as much looking back. I think she's one of my weaker designs, but you know, she still gives me the Dairy Queen vibe, at least with the colors. There's another blank page, and as you can see, there's like a little smudge from the page before. Here is my Pride Girl from June. I used to always put dates on all of my drawings, just for my own purposes, but ever since I started doing YouTube and like kind of my artwork is documented online, like when I drew it, I kind of stopped putting dates in my stuff. But like, I don't know, sometimes I'm looking through my sketchbook and I just completely blank out when I drew things. So I probably should start putting dates again on my artwork. This one I liked, but the problem with it, looking back at it, was I think I made her torso way too long. Like something's going on here that does not look right to me. Like she was supposed to be tall, but something looks proportionally off, and I don't know. I think it's her torso. Here is the corgi from that MMO that I took and drew in as a person. another page with nothing on it. I apologize for those pages. I know those are the most exciting drawings in my sketchbook, right? Oh, here is the promised SpongeBob Magical Boy. This was a really weird time, but it was fun. It was different, but definitely still weird looking back at it. And here is the ice cream flavors as people. Another series which I think is a lot of fun. She was my favorite, just the colors and everything. I think I just like her design, how she came out. Another favorite. I know I keep saying that, but like this one was also a lot of fun to do. Really bright and sunny, and I just really like her facial expression. Now we, I think, enter October, and this is where we did the Monsters ice cream flavors. And I think we're nearing the end of the sketchbook because these are more recent. This was Leo. Pisces is not in here because she had a malfunction, so she is not in this book. And then we had England from a recent video, and we have India from a recent video. And I think, I want to say those are the last drawings in here. So yeah, that is my collection from my artwork from 2020. Like I said, I didn't show you my digital artwork, but I could do that a separate time if you really want to see it. It's a little bit harder to show my iPad because it tends to not show up that great on camera, and also my iPad is organized really weird with folders and stuff, so it's kind of hard to find what was 2020 and what wasn't. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed my videos this year, and it was a weird year, but honestly, I'm hoping that 2021 is a better year and we can always find the bright side of things. That is at least what I tried to do. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you guys watching this year in general, and I have all of my links in the description box below. I have a link to my online store, which has all of my pins, prints, enamel pins, everything that I do is there. And then I also have the link to my Instagram, my Discord, and my Patreon monthly pin club. So if you'd like to check any of those links out, please check them out in the description or the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful new year. Bye bye!